I'm Anand Bhargava. Basically, the irony is I am in the healthcare segment right now, but I qualified as an engineer. Okay,
Okay.
and once after I qualified as an engineer, I reaccredited myself in the nutrition space. So at a later age in my life, I had to again study and do all the stuff that people are doing now as students, and to get myself into that space. But just to give you a background, I come from typically, a family where nobody has done a business or any of that kind. All of them were working. My parents both happen to be doctors, working in the government. So I'm a first generation entrepreneur. That's the way I would put it. And obviously, when it comes to a first generation entrepreneur, there are challenges that come in the way, and most people around you think that. What is it that you're doing? And so I started my career basically working in a couple of corporate jobs. I worked with my last stint was with Unilever in the tea industry. I worked with them for about 7 years, and then the entrepreneur bug was always there within me, saying that I have to do something on my own. And I just got out and said goodbye to my career when I was at a peak in my career, and got into a business that I had no idea at all. Okay, I started with cable television. I had no idea whatsoever, and that's the lucky part of it is that I met my wife, who became my wife later through the industry, and then I diversified into technology and telecommunications. There, I had a business in landline telephones and other things way back in the late 90s, I would say. And then subsequently, that's when I dabbled into healthcare and moved into nutrition and wellness. And thereafter, for about a couple of decades, we were running healthcare in basically the analog fashion, of what we would say, where you work in person, because that's where healthcare was. And then post COVID, we have floated a brand new company, a health tech startup called Thinkfit Solutions Private Limited, wherein we have moved everything what we used to do on the analog fashion to the digital space now. So where our reach is much better, and I'm able to connect with people around the globe now. And that's where it is right now. And I think it's in a great space to be in now. People in business were from business families. Okay, and then that's the way it was. And people from outside of a business family would find it extremely difficult to get started there. If you work within a framework, its chances of success is very high. Practice really teaches you what really life is all about. Knowledge was just absolutely useless when I came into real life. In an entrepreneur journey, failure is critically important to succeed. If you don't execute your plans, it just turns out to be just all wishful thinking, and it's just a waste of time. One entrepreneur impacts millions of lives. One of the biggest things that a youngster needs to understand is, first thing is, you need to cut that umbilical cord thinking that your children are going to take care of you. Most of the conventional parents are, children have to take care of them. It's become like almost like a law for them. As an individual, we can't do it. Everybody in industry has their own hands full, and nobody wants to put a little bit of time, effort outside to actually take on somebody on, and mentor that young kid and take them on and give them an outlook into the industry as to what it works. Without those, you cannot really succeed in being an entrepreneur. People of my generation are very, very resistant to feedback. What real world problem does it solve? End of the day, it will not see light, and it will be a failure. If you're solving a real world problem, you're in the right space. Then being resilient is fine. The first step is as quickly, they have great ideas. People have ideas. Okay, you need to validate that idea as quickly as possible. Most important thing, I think, is to build a good network around them. Find skill sets that you're not good at. Instead of wasting time to learn everything, find people with that skill. Mentor starts to judge you, then it becomes a problem.